Hi, I'm Elizabeth Crofton and I'm running for Executive President for CHS's Student Council. This position includes serving as a voice for the Student Council as a whole, running the weekly meetings, and overseeing the committees and classes in the Student Council. I've already had my experience on the Executive Board last year when I served as the Communications Director, not to mention my time as Sophomore Vice President and Freshman President. Student Council has always been a major part of my high school experience, and throughout my years within it, I've been able to create a family. I could go on to list all the activities I've participated in, all the committees I've headed, and all the money I've raised, but after 3 election speeches, 3 years of dedication to Student Council, and 3 different positions, I'm sure you've already heard it before. I instead want to focus on why I keep on coming back and what I can do for this year. I genuinely love getting to make changes in our school, getting to work with my peers, putting together events that the whole school can enjoy, and being able to voice my peers' comments and concerns on a level that allows for change. Especially since this is a time in which all our voices need to be heard. We're still in the heat of Black Lives Matter protests, political debates, and a global pandemic. If elected, I would make sure Student Council focuses on using our voice for good. As one of the largest and most established school clubs, we have the reach to organize large school events. By partnering with other clubs, I would want to give others the opportunity to be heard on a larger scale and do what I can to help the causes we feel so strongly about. During the midst of a pandemic, it may feel like school spirit is the last of our concerns, but especially for our seniors, missing the football nights and homecoming dance, I want to try and make this year as special as possible and do what I can to end our time here strong. Thank you for your time. Vote Elizabeth Crofton for Executive President, and I promise I'll make this year a good time.
Hello CHS students, my name is Jakai McCrae and I'm your candidate for Student Council President. Many of you have seen me online with my account Jakai for Pres 2020, but some of you don't know what my ideas are for the remainder of the school year. Listen, this year has not been what any of us expected, and it isn't as enjoyable a year as we wanted or hoped for. Especially for seniors and freshmen, the former who wanted to end their last year on a bang, and the latter who wished to start their first year as smoothly as possible. For virtual learning, it can be hard to find any enjoyment in school. Our sports games have been canceled, clubs have been relocated online, and with the various websites and online call sites that we have to use, it can get a little confusing. My goal for this year is to end the complexities of online learning and bring fun back into our lives. Fun is something I know about because in my 2 years in Student Council, I helped run the homecoming dance, Valentine's Day candygrams, and was even the Cougar mascot for a day. Columbia students deserve to have safe and socially distanced events, and if I'm elected as Student Council President, I will work to provide that for them. Thank you, Jakai.
Hi, my name is Skylar Martinez and I'm running to become your next student body president. As we all know, this is a strange year, especially when it comes to school. In our new environment of virtual learning, we are missing our friends and our normal school activities. As your president, I would support virtual activities that would encourage new students to meet and bond, and I would emphasize school spirit. If you don't know me, I have been a member of the Student Council since my sophomore year. I have fundraised through blood drives and helped prepare for homecoming and volleyball tournaments. I'm one of the captains of this year's boys varsity swim team and play on the varsity ultimate frisbee team. I enjoy working with others on teams and in collaborative efforts. I also enjoy performing with the Parnassian Society and in the school musicals. On the topic of student council, many may not be aware that there is a student council constitution, which must be revised due to the changes this year. As your student body president, I would participate in the revision process and craft your year into an enjoyable experience. In the past, Columbia has been vocal on student justice and activism. I plan to incorporate your ideas and express your concerns. There's currently a disconnect between students and the council. I would be accessible and listen to suggestions by students who engage in conversations with me. I would set up a Google form to submit your concerns and ideas, which I would review and bring to the attention of the student council. I would make the student council meetings more accessible to the student body to keep you informed and engaged. I would extend student council's purview further than social media in order to keep students connected to the club. Student council is a way to improve your class and enhance your school. Under the presidential direction of me, Skylar Martinez, I would ensure every student's voice be heard and the year be an enjoyable experience despite the circumstances. It doesn't matter we're remote. Cast your vote. Make sure to vote Martinez for student body president.
Hi, my name is Thaddeus Bernard. I'm a senior and I'm running for Executive Vice President of Student Council. I started participating in Student Council fundraising events freshman year and joined officially sophomore year. Aside of Student Council, I'm a part of Columbia's Minority Achievement Community and I'm also captain of the boys varsity swim team. And during my time in Student Council, I have participated and ran many fundraising events. I was a part of the Decorating and Selection Committee for the Hall of Fame for 3 years. I ran the CHS volleyball tournament and Halloween costume contest, along with helping out with last year's candygrams and numerous bake sales. As your executive vice president, I will work alongside the president overseeing committees, meetings, and fundraising events. If elected, I will strive to plan many fun and engaging events for the student body even though we are at home. With the hope of one day being reunited, I will also look toward the future and work towards the end of the year activities, keeping in mind the senior class. I genuinely enjoy student council. It started with my mom, forcing me to get more involved, but grew into something more. I love organizing fun events for the student body while raising school spirit and awareness. I hope you guys will vote for me as your next executive vice president so I can spend another year creating change, raising school spirit, and working towards a better Columbia. Thank you.
My name is Ashley Fanka, and I would like to be your executive board secretary. I joined Student Council because, like you, I want my voice to be heard. Although Student Council is supposed to be a representation of our entire school, its members are predominantly white. What this does is allow only one group to speak for all of us. Instead of complaining about not seeing any other first-generation dark-skinned Black girls in this organization, I decided to be my own representation. Last year, I was a junior class treasurer and loved the opportunity it gave me to grow financial knowledge and build a stronger connection with my class. Within Student Council, I have been a part of the Homecoming, Candygram, Winter Formal, and fundraising committees, in addition to co-chairing the Hall of Fame committee last year. I'm also a proud Max Scholar, which is a family of leaders that strive for and achieve greatness. Outside of school, I am a member of the Coalition Youth Collective, where we highlight social injustices through artistic expression. I work as a social distancing ambassador for the town, providing frontline health services while reinforcing COVID-19 regulations. And most importantly, I'm an activist and poet. With this position, I will make sure Student Council uses their platform to amplify the voices of people of color in our community. I'm running for Executive Board Secretary so people of color can see that they don't have to allow other people to represent them. We can represent ourselves. My goal is for Student Council to look like the entire school, not just be the idea of it. Thank you.
Hi CHS, my name is Lila Gold, I use she, her pronouns, and I'm running for the position of Secretary of the Executive Board within Columbia High School Student Council. Since freshman year, I've been very involved in our school, whether it be through student council meetings, clubs, or working with my peers to change the climate, culture, and policies we have in place. And I've always been extremely passionate about community building, activism, and social justice. I would love to see these concepts and values implemented within our school. I am perfect for this position because of my note-taking and organizational abilities, my communication skills, and my leadership experience, especially as the class of 2022 secretary in past years. I have been in student council since my freshman year, and since joining I've helped out at blood drives, given tours of the school, helped raise money through can shakes, volunteered at different events including School in Action Night, and I've helped co-lead multiple committees. This past year I helped lead the Valentine's Day committee by organizing our Candygrams fundraiser, which was well loved and successful. I'm also a co-leader of the CHS voter registration committee. Most recently, we did our high school voter registration week plans, and we actually registered over 50 students in CHS to vote. Outside of student council, I'm also a co-leader of the environmental club and the power club, and I'm part of several other school groups. Through these, I've organized many things, including protests, rallies, and teach-ins, and I've stayed committed to making these places safe and inclusive. I'm also a member of the local racial justice group, MAPS the Youth Coalition, where I help out with emails, finances, and media, and I facilitate multiple committees. Lastly, I am part of the national organization Planet Justice, where I serve as the communications director. This year, I'm really looking forward to continuing to lead committees and to helping out as much as I can. I'm committed to changing the school for the better in inclusive, equitable, and accessible ways. We need to focus on the needs of the students by providing accessible resources, accurate and intersectional education, and by creating a greater sense of community within the school. I will help revamp Club Council, which is the correspondence between clubs, sports, and student council leaders, and I will focus on our connections and communication within the school. I will also continue to emphasize the importance of voting and civic action and will encourage student council to support activist organizations and student social justice efforts. Thank you so much for your time, CHS, and remember to vote for Lila Gold for the overall student council secretary.
My name is Maddie Hughes, and I am running for the position of Treasurer for the Executive Board. Becoming Treasurer would give me the opportunity to use my voice to improve student life in Columbia. I believe that Student Council is the direct road to invoke change within our community. As Treasurer, I would need to keep a keen eye on the finances of the student body. One of the reasons I feel that I am especially qualified for this job is that I know how to budget and handle money. For the past year, I have worked as a waitress in a restaurant. Through this job, I handle transactions, watched over the register, and closed out the registers at the end of the day. Because of this experience, I know I have the knowledge and capability to manage the student body's finances. Throughout my years in the school, I have heard the opinions of my peers that express that they sometimes feel unheard. If I am elected treasurer, I will use my position to uplift the voices of our student body, because I believe that all people should be able to convey their concerns. I will use my platform to promote your ideas on how to better the school. I also know that this job is a huge responsibility that requires a lot of trust. I have been a member of the Student Council for 3 years, and throughout these years, I have been an active member of the organization. I have volunteered for blood drives, can shakes, and bake sales. I organized the Halloween committee last year and was a member of the Hall of Fame committee. Most importantly, even through the closing of the school last winter, I was still actively participating in the Student Council. During online school and this past summer, I met with the class of 2021 to help plan events that would support the student body during these tough times. So far in my high school career, I have shown consistency and dedication through the organizations I've joined. I am a 4-year veteran of the marching band, where I devote my time to help achieve excellent performances. My hard work in the music program has strengthened my leadership skills as well as my ability to work with others. Overall, I know that if I'm elected treasurer, I would have the experience and vision to properly aid the student body. Thank you for considering me for this important position to serve this school.
My name is Lily Foreman. I'm a senior and I'm running for my second term as student representative to the Board of Education. When I was elected to this role last year, I promised 4 things: to increase the district's communication with students, to advocate for stronger mental health resources, to fight for equity, and to amplify the voices of all students. Let's start with communication. I encourage the superintendent to send all important updates to students through our emails, which has been done. And if I'm re-elected, I'll look into other ways that the district can communicate with us, like texts and emails. On mental health, I advocated for more staff members dedicated to the issue, and the board passed a budget last May including additional social workers and interns for the middle schools and for Columbia. If re-elected, I'll advocate for even more social workers, along with ensuring that the district is listening to the students themselves about the resources we need. In terms of equity, we can all agree that SOMSD is far from being an equitable district. I've advocated for the increased use of restorative practices to try to reverse the trend of disproportionate suspensions against students of color. I solicited student feedback on the intentional integration plan that was recently passed, and now I'm working with the MAPSO Youth Coalition on implementing a student bill of rights. And finally, amplifying student voices. I ensured that student comments would be prioritized at board meetings and developed school-wide surveys to be sent to students, like this summer's online learning survey, so that your voices were heard as the district developed its plans. If re-elected, I'll continue these efforts, along with organizing roundtables with Principal Sanchez, which have started this year, and I'll start making visits to clubs to hear your concerns directly. I'm also an active participant in our school community in many other ways, like leading Students for Justice and Power. As you can see, I care deeply about our school district and its students. Once again, I'm Lily Foreman, and I hope you'll vote for me for student representative to the Board of Education.
Hi friends, my name is Phoebe Holt-Rice, and I'm excited to say that I'll be your senior class president this year. As class president the past 2 years and vice president as a freshman, I've worked tirelessly to raise money to lower the cost of your prom ticket, better the communication between administration and students, and raise awareness about the role of student council. I can't wait to continue that work. So much so that we've already started. Over the summer, we held a design competition, and in September, we raised $400 through a senior shirt sale. Beyond fundraising, CHS Student Council, led by Lily Foreman, Lila Gold, and myself, participated in high school voter registration week and registered 51 students through paper and online. I can't wait to see what we can do in the future. In the meantime, I want you all to know that I'm here to listen to your questions, your ideas, and your concerns. I know things are difficult right now, but let's stay optimistic and hope for a return to school in time for senior traditions. Please feel free to reach out at any time by emailing chsclassof21@gmail.com or messaging Columbia Class 21 on Instagram, and we'll be happy to help. Thank you all so much for your support, and sending love to you all.
Hi, my name is Lily Ramos, and I'm running for Senior Class Vice President. I'm truly dedicated to the success and prosperity of Columbia and want to be a part of a team that both finds ways to improve our school and boost student morale. Even in these days of remote learning and reduced student interactions, it is important that we remain optimistic about the future and continue to find ways to connect as a student body. I'm confident that I have what it takes to collaborate with others and deliver strong, thought-out ideas. I've experience as a co-president of Cougar Nation and believe I can use that to my advantage in order to help both clubs work together. Through my work with Cougar Nation, I've developed considerable leadership skills and am granted a unique perspective and opportunity to better appreciate and act upon what Columbia students want. I'm open as well as organized and promise to use these strengths to bring students together. Student Council is a place where we can voice our concerns, ideas, and possible solutions. Last March, everything changed for us. Who would have thought that 7 months later we'd all be attending school from our homes? I'd love to hear what you, as a student body, suggest as ways for us to keep using our voices. I want to understand what you think is working and what isn't, or how teachers and staff can help you be your best selves even when we're apart. These times are extremely hard for everyone, but maybe you have some ideas to help build our student morale. Maybe there are ways for us to share things like reviews of new music or shows that we've been watching. Anything to make our days less stressful. I really love all the things that make CHS CHS, and I would love to be your senior class vice president. I hope you, as a senior class, reach out and express what you feel the administration needs to hear from us. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope I have your vote.
Hello CHS Class of 2022. I'm Phoebe Hill and I'm running for re-election as your class president. For the past 2 years, I have represented you and helped our grade alongside many other dedicated members of Student Council. I worked to lead canning fundraisers for our grade and staffed important school events from the volleyball tournaments to back-to-school nights. I will take these experiences and couple it with creativity and passion in order to seek ways to unify our grade and serve the students in this uniquely challenging time. I care deeply about the junior class, whether we are filing into the building each morning at 7:55 or logging on to a Google Meets call right at 8 a.m. from the comfort of our rooms. Despite the physical distance between us, the class of 2022 is still a community, and I believe I am the person to guide us during this difficult time. Going forward, I will listen to you, the students, about what issues are most pressing. I will find ways to serve our community and give back during this time of great suffering and need. I will work to return a sense of school spirit and pride. Use your voice and vote Phoebe Hill for junior class president. Thank you.
Hello, CHS student body. My name is Cole Strupp, and I'm running to be your junior class vice president. For the past 2 years, I've served as your vice president for the class of 2022 and worked tirelessly to organize school spirit weeks, holiday festivities, and of course, fundraising drives. Outside of student council, I'm active in athletics, elementors, and Spanish Honor Society. If elected for the upcoming year, I will advocate for improvements to our building's appearance and restrooms, increase support for all of our teams, clubs, and performing groups, and promote social equity for all students. Moreover, I will strive to boost our school spirit and unity, even as we learn remotely. Lastly, I will ensure that all students will be able to voice their ideas, questions, and concerns. I urge all of you to contact me about any school events, reforms, or improvements that you would like to see implemented. I plan to amplify and empower the voices of the great class of 2022 to enable all students to exercise their power in the school community. Of course, the first step towards getting your voice heard is voting in the student council elections, and I hope I, Cole Strupp, can count on your vote for junior class vice president. Beyond that, I encourage you all to reach out to your student council officers, attend meetings, and actively participate with us to transform Columbia into the great school we know it can be. Thank you and have a great day.
Hello, my name is Ella Servi and I'm running for junior class treasurer. If you were to elect me, my main goal would be to fundraise for our class and to raise money to provide our grade with future activities and support. I would also be very open to everyone's ideas of how we can work to improve the school and everyone's experience here at Columbia. As treasurer, I would be responsible for handling the money that our class fundraises and for helping plan fundraisers. The main goal of fundraising is to raise money so that in senior year, we will be able to lower the prices of prom for everyone. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, the representatives for the class of 2022 were working on selling coupon books to raise money for our class, and we are currently hoping to continue that effort. I feel that I am responsible with money and would be able to help our class raise as much money as possible, even though we do have to face unprecedented issues this year. If I'm elected, this will be my 5th year in student council, so I'll be able to use my acquired knowledge of leadership to help us through these difficult times. Even though we are in virtual school at the moment, that does not mean that we cannot support each other and foster school spirit. I have a very optimistic outlook for next year and have many ideas of ways we can make our Columbia High School experience even more enjoyable. With your votes, I can make it happen. I appreciate your time and I hope you have an enjoyable day. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Bridget Heindel and I'm running for sophomore class president. My experience includes freshman class president last year, and before that I participated in 3 years of student council at Maplewood Middle School, including being the co-executive producer of the live morning announcements. I'm part of a weekend service youth group and an active member of the teen leaders group at the Y, and I take part in the field hockey and fencing teams. I care about making sure that everyone has the same access to all information and opportunities. If elected president, I will make information easily accessible for those with social media and without. I will do my absolute best to find fun ways for students to stay connected and interact virtually and socially distanced. I will listen to what students want to see done and do my best to follow through, as well as be open and willing to listen to all students' opinions on what I may be doing wrong and what they want to see me change. I will also work to make sure that our class is prepared financially for events such as prom during our junior and senior years. And most importantly, I will do my best to make the class of 23's sophomore year as enjoyable as it can be. Need something done? Bridget's the one. Thank you.
Hello, fellow students of Columbia. I would first like to say thank you for electing me as Vice President of the sophomore class and allowing me to run for this position. I will make a lot of reforms to better benefit the student body, the faculty, and our school community in general. Issues that I would like to address and work towards fixing include the huge achievement gap between Black students and white students, raising more awareness about mental health via promoting and providing more resources to both students and faculty, making the carbon footprint of our school smaller, addressing the issues that LGBTQ plus students in our school face and create a more safer space for them, and get more representation of POC and LGBTQ plus history in our curriculum. When it comes to my qualifications, I was freshman vice president 2019-2020. I am a science curriculum developer at a small student-led organization catered to women in STEAM, and I am going to be the pre-med student club leader. With all of the shortcomings I've previously mentioned in mind, one of the big goals that I do have is to have our school be as integrated as possible so that we have a more tight-knit, safe, and accepting community. I will make sure that all of these changes happen, whether it takes months or years, until we get to a point where all of these issues are addressed and reforms are made. So I, Carrie Saney, ask for your vote, for I will not only be an effective vice president, but I will also have the best interest of the student body in mind. Thank you.
Hi all, I'm Sadie Springer. I'm a freshman at Columbia, as I'm sure most of you are, and I'm running to be your freshman student council president. I figured I'd start off by telling you some personal things about me. I'm a dancer, a twin, I love to read, I enjoy baking and learning. I'm not going to try to swerve around the fact that I've never been on a student council before. Some of you may be wondering why I'm choosing to run now. And to tell you the truth, I wanted a challenge. I wanted to test my limits, explore something I've been too busy or afraid to try in the past, as cliche as this might sound. I also figured it would be a great way to immerse myself into Columbia, a place we will call school for the next 4 years. As I considered the decision to run, I started to realize that I'd be a good fit for this position. I've been in the MAPSA school district all of my academic career, and I feel like this community is a part of me already, so why not offer my knowledge and skills to make it better? In terms of credentials, I've had leadership type roles in the past, being involved in Girl Scouts for many years, as well as female leadership clubs. Some of the values that I mentioned more in detail on my slideshow campaign poster are equity, the Black Lives Matter movement, gender equality, as well as safe socialization during COVID. Feel free to check those out if you're interested in learning more. I'm already part of many clubs inside of CHS. I try to find clubs that discuss topics that I care deeply about. These clubs include the Power Club, Students for Justice Club, and the Red Cross Club, and actually Achieve Tutoring. I hope to bring many of the ideas and values of these clubs into my role as student council president. Thank you so much for listening to my speech, and remember, the class of 2024 needs a strong voice, no matter how small.
Hello, my name is Najeev Millis. I have never been in student council before due to the fact that I never could have made time for student council. I believe that I will best fit the position of freshman class vice president because I would make it known to my peers that I am here and that I am willing to fulfill their many suggestions or complaints that they may have. From my observation last year, 8th grade, students would give suggestions to the student council on how to make the school year effective and beneficial for themselves, but in the long run, nothing much has changed. But I would benefit off of this because I would be working towards facilitating change. I will also be available or make time to be available for any future meetings or sit-downs with other students. I will also make sure there are more diverse programs. For instance, Columbia has the Max Scholars program. We can make more programs just like that and more clubs and activities. I wouldn't want any student to feel uncomfortable with me based off of my appearance, and I will most definitely not discriminate. Not a lot of minority voices are heard, so I will make sure they are heard and understood.
Hi, my name is Nadia Springer, and I am a freshman here at CHS. I'm currently running for freshman vice president, and I would love your support. The freshman body has been given a great opportunity through this election, and I cannot be happier that I have been given the chance to participate. It might be discouraging to some people that this would be my first year involved in student council. Instead of looking at my student council experience as limited or lack thereof, you can view it as though I can bring new perspectives, ideas, as well as visions for the school's future. For some background, outside of school, I enjoy running, playing tennis, reading, as well as socializing. Within the school community, I've devoted my thoughts, time, and participation in many clubs. Along with Student Council, I am currently involved in the Red Cross Club as a founding member. In the coming weeks, I will be tutoring through Achieve, as well as participating in the Key Club. The clubs in which I have chosen to participate in are ones of which grab my attention, and also clubs that I believe by being in, I can make the most difference and impact in our school community. I come into this presidential election with values of equity, community, diversity, and positivity. These values are ones in which I will place at the forefront of my work and carry with me through my time as a student council member. In the high school hierarchy, freshmen lie at the bottom of the totem pole. So now, more so than ever, we need a voice and someone that will put their best foot forward for the benefit of the freshman student body. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope I can gain your support.